Okay, we got the next Avatar revealed. Avatar Studios from the Avatarist. Okay, so yeah.
Some major leaks for the next Avatar series have just surfaced, and there is a lot of confusion going around in the community, and we're going to be clearing up all of that. I've actually seen the animatics here, and honestly, guys, it is super mind blowing. I'm personally really excited for it to come out. I've
hmm
teased it a couple of times in the past, and I've been biting my tongue here for months, waiting for someone else to leak it so I could openly talk about it on this channel. Obviously, I'm not going to be showing the actual animatics for legal reasons. Those are copyrighted. I don't want my channel taken down. I mean, this
Okay.
is my career after all. I don't want to lose it. However, I can confirm that this article by Night Edge Media, from what I know,
Rumor: Avatar: The Last Airbender Earth Avatar TV series plot details revealed. First plot details from Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Legend of Korra sequels. Sequel series revealed. So I watched the first Avatar in its entirety. Like I think 2 or 3 times in my entire life. And Avatar, I saw it when it first came out, like episode to episode, and I was like hinging every week on the next one. And I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then once all the DVD you know collection came out, saw it again, and then I saw it again. Yeah, Avatar is great. It's fantastic. Um, Now I did see the core one, and I thought it was all right, but it wasn't as good as like the Aang one, but it wasn't bad. I would still put it up there as like something pretty good. Um, but I'm just curious, what are they gonna do for this one?
is mostly correct. We're also going to be expanding upon the information in this article with some exclusive information that I know. Everything that I'm going to be saying is double sourced. Unless it's speculation, then that's just me speculating, but I'll make that clear. So,
Mm-hmm.
as always, if you want to know everything, you better stay here until the end of the video.
Okay.
Following the events of The Legend of Korra, Korra literally blows up the world in an apocalyptic event for some unknown reasons. No, I'm not joking. As if people already didn't hate Korra enough, she literally ends the Four Nations as we know it, which might be the best feat out of any Avatar we've ever seen, so maybe I got this one wrong. Or did I? Which brings me to the working title of the series, which is Seven Havens. So what are the Seven Havens and what does that mean? The Seven Havens are 7 different cities that the remainder of the world's population live in. These are cities with post-apocalyptic wastelands outside of them. Now, this
Okay.
probably confuses a lot of you. As we all know, back in 2023, there was a rumor going around that this series would be a cyberpunk series.
I got some Avatar: The Last Airbender scoop. The next sequel show will have more of a cyberpunk setting, and we'll have multiple energy benders and flying airbenders. So expect more DBZ level fighting. I don't know if I would even want an Avatar thing set in cyberpunk, because the whole thing with the cyberpunk genre is that your regular person can already do so many cool, crazy Avatar like things. If you saw the cyberpunk anime, uh, what was that thing called? Like the main character had that thing in his spine that made him like go super fast. Uh, I forgot what the hell it was called. It was like some kind of like 2-3 syllable thing. But whatever. In the cyberpunk setting, the thing that makes all the characters superheroes is cybernetics. Um, you can literally do damn near anything. As far as like physicality, you can be super strong, you can move super fast. You can have X-ray vision. You just put a little implant in your eye. You can shoot out whatever projectile you want: bullets, rockets, fire, acid, whatever. You can have swords shooting out of your arms. Um, And just doing that alone, from like a regular normal person perspective, makes having an actual avatar seem so much less, what do you call it? It's not as like cool to be like the avatar, because I could look at like any Joe Schmo and they could be all juiced up on like cybernetics and shit, and it's like, oh well, what's the appeal of being the avatar then, when you have like regular Joe Schmo that can do damn near close to whatever the avatar can do. One of the main reasons that the Aang era was so good was because you have the avatar that, you know, he was able to wield all four of the elements, and then you had like everybody within their own little nation that could, I could do like some basic like earth bending. I could do some basic fire bending, but the avatar takes that, puts it on steroids, and he could do all of them. So there's like a huge difference between like what a normal person can do and what the avatar can do. And plus the avatar has like the avatar mode or state or whatever. I don't even think that would be like that good. Trying to inject superpowers into cyberpunk setting is just not a good look. I think that idea creatively is stupid.
Series, but from everything that I've seen, that just isn't the case. From what I've seen, it's mostly post-apocalyptic, but it's hard to judge without seeing the entire series in its entirety. The next avatar will be a young earthbender girl that has a peg leg. Now, the article states that she's a paraplegic, but that's a little bit of a stretch. Typically, paraplegic refers to someone who is paralyzed. The avatar just has an amputated foot and calf. She can move around perfectly fine. Her animal...
Hopefully there'll be like a couple episodes that kind of flesh that out, how she lost her leg. But like with how shows are made nowadays, would that even be possible to show how it happened? Would it like another reason that like the original like Avatar series was so good is because, well, one, they had really good animation for like a Nickelodeon level TV show. Animation team was just killer, and they were able to show like some pretty like violent stuff. I don't even know if they'd be able to like get away with the violence of everything that they could back then today. Like there's no shot that they would show like an actual child getting their leg cut off, or however it happened. Oh, maybe she was just born that way. It's like, okay, then it kind of removes any relatability that for like any real person has that has like an artificial leg or something like that. I mean, I don't know.
Animal companion is a large, fluffy, cat-like creature that is predominantly featured in the opening episode and is extremely cute. If you've ever seen ReZero, I would describe it as being like the small version of Puck, but large. Now, that sounds really weird, but if you're a ReZero fan, you'll know what I mean. I'm sure everyone who is a fan of Appa will be more than glad to see an animal companion have actual relevance again. Unlike in Korra, where I'm sure some people forgot she even had an animal companion.
I forgot.
The avatar's name is unknown, and even if we did know her name from the animatics, it really wouldn't matter, as animatics typically just have placeholder names. But it appears that the avatar is either homeless or in poverty. It's also clear that she's an outcast from society. Looking over walls to see the other people, she's always seen to be alone. She looks very unhappy or even depressed. Since no one knows she's the avatar, I'm not really sure how she ended up in this situation or what her exact circumstances even are. But here's the big twist everybody is waiting for. She's an identical twin, but the twins were separated at a young age. When the White Lotus searched for the next avatar, they took in the wrong twin. So the real avatar grew up in poverty while the twin grew up rich. Now, some people are reporting...
Okay, that's kind of interesting. There's been a couple other stories that have done this. Like, look at original Star Wars. I bet that's where they even took that from. Like, Princess Leia grew up a princess, and Luke Skywalker grew up on a poor little moisture farm. And, bro, no shot, they actually rip, like, some of the key plot points from Star Wars and just literally inject them into Star Wars. I mean, granted, like, Star Wars isn't the only example, but that's like just the one I could think of off the top of my head. Oh my god.
that they're both avatars or one's avatar. It's just a little clear what's actually
I hope there's no like double avatar for this twin bullshit. It's like, come on.
going on here, like if she can bend all 4 elements or not. But from what I know, the poor twin is the avatar, like all the previous avatars. But the other twin that the White Lotus has could have Vatu in her or something like that. One of my sources told me that she had quote-unquote avatar-like powers. So I think the Vatu theory could very well be true. It's not known what exactly has happened to their parents, but based on what I've seen, I think it's safe to assume that they both were orphans. One of the consequences of Korra destroying the world is that now people...
Bro, you know that's what they're winding up to do. They're winding up to do some sort of Star Wars bullshit. That's what they're gonna do. That's 100%. These guys... Oh, man.
People are extremely afraid of the Avatar, and borderline view the Avatar as an evil entity. This was very likely one of the reasons why the White Lotus decided to hide the other twin. And while this next part is entirely speculation, I think it's possible that the White Lotus abandoned the protagonist because she's physically disabled, and they didn't believe that she could be the Avatar. Perhaps this could mean that the White Lotus in this era is more brutal than the previous ones. As far as the Avatar's disability goes, she appears to be able to still decently move around. So I'm not really sure how much of a factor this is going to be, if at all. I think it'd be really cool if her walking around somehow becomes bending aided, something
yeah,
similar to Toph. This is actually very similar to what...
Bro, is this Aang? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. I forgot. Was this like a Korra episode? Oh my god. I think I could buy that because like Toph was blind, but everything, like all her other senses were like heightened and from her like earth bending, so much so she made metal bending. Hoo-hoo. But like, how would you... I mean, you could just earth bend like some rocks to be like your artificial leg and just always having to concentrate right there and just, okay, this is normal.
Happened to Kyoshi during her novels, as she wasn't initially identified as the Avatar until later in life. At first, I was thinking, oh, this is actually really funny how the Earth Kingdom always messes up this sort of thing, but in this case, the Earth Kingdom kind of doesn't exist anymore, and it was the White Lotus's fault that this happened. So if we really want to blame anyone, I guess we could blame Aang. After all, Aang was the one who decided that the White Lotus was going to be taking over these responsibilities of finding the next Avatar. One of the coolest things from this whole ordeal is an airbender who has a hoverboard. Now, unfortunately, it's not one of those cool hoverboards like in Back to the Future. It's one of those one wheel type hoverboards, but instead of a wheel, he uses airbending to make the wheel. Again,
Oh my god, they literally just could have put a board on the ground. Why do you have to make it like a one wheel board? That's so stupid. Just make it a hoverboard.
this isn't very cyberpunk-esque, it's more so just post-apocalyptic with remnants of Korra's technology.
So wait, you know what the vibe I'm kind of getting from just the description? Kind of like Fallout mixed with Avatar. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. If you could imagine that. Imagine like a Fallout 3 or something. Maybe not New Vegas, but just regular Fallout 3. But like more disheveled, maybe not so technologically advanced, but still kind of technologically advanced, but not really. And then just throw on the layer of the Avatar. That could be maybe.
The young man who is riding this hoverboard appears to be a Sokka type character. Literally everyone that he comes in contact with in the Haven seems to love him. I think there's even a girl who's like, I love you, like under her breath or something after he walks away. I know a lot of people are going to be having complex feelings about the possibility of there being 2 avatars, as it would be a major departure from the established lore of the series. Roku literally had a twin in his latest novel and he wasn't the avatar. However, hear me out. What if the second avatar, the one that was raised by the White Lotus, actually has Vatu sealed inside of her, just like how the normal avatar has Rava sealed inside of them. This could very well be the result of something Korra had to do during her time as the avatar. It would also explain why she has quote-unquote avatar-like abilities, but not necessarily the same as the traditional avatar. Also, the White Lotus knows Korra lost a connection to her past lives. They could write off anything weird with the twin they have as a result of that. At the end of the first episode, a giant spirit described as a massive eyeball attacks the haven that the avatar lives in and kidnaps the mirror. The twins reunite to stop the evil spirit and go off on a training arc, presumably to go save the mirror of the haven. Instantly, again, my brain is like, this spirit has to be Father Glowworm, but as I didn't see this part of the episode myself, I cannot confirm it's him. But as we all know, spirits never truly die, they're just reborn. I think it's likely, especially if they want to connect their mobile game to this somehow. It makes sense to me. Since the setting is post-apocalyptic, we have to wonder what is causing people to hide away in the havens. I'm guessing Korra didn't just set off a bunch of nukes and cause a fallout, and there's radiation everywhere. What's the next closest thing to fallout and radiation sickness in the Avatar universe?
Yeah.
Well, my personal theory that in this era, evil spirit attacks are extremely common. Perhaps maybe even the Avatar lost her leg in a spirit attack when she was very young. Maybe an unintended consequence of Korra opening up the spirit portals to the physical world was that powerful dark spirits are now able to invade. Maybe, just maybe, in what would be the most Korra move ever, she attempts to cleanse the world of all of the evil spirits by destroying it. Of course, spirits never truly die, like I said. This would only be a temporary fix at best. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but it sounds like Korra to me. So here's what I think is going to happen with the future of this franchise in the coming years. First,
I mean, how many seasons of like Korra were there? How many seasons of Jesus were there? Oh, Legend of Korra has 4 seasons. Does okay, now how do you spell Aang? Is it 2 A's? 3 seasons. Okay. So what? What would they do? For like 3 to 4 seasons again. But then like cuz like so far there's only 4 elements. What? There's like we've done wind, we've done water. Now we're doing earth. The next one would have to be fire, and then it's done. Okay? But if you just try to think about it and what I don't know, modern day what do you call it? I don't even know. Modern day entertainment, what they do with just entertainment period is they cannot let IPs die. They need to milk the IP until they are a lifeless husk. That is usually what has happened. Just think of any IP. Think about what they're doing with movies. Think about what they're doing with video games. Think about what they're doing with shows. No IP is safe. They will probably find out some way to keep this going. There's no way they would let this die, even whenever this one's done. No shot.
Firstly, the adult Aang movie is going to come out. We already know that. Then following that will be this series right here, the Earth Avatar series. And then following the Earth Avatar series is going to be that Korra movie that Avatar News leaked. And now, I think this would be really cool. The Korra movie will be a tie-in movie to the start of this series, explaining the events that led up to Korra destroying the 4 nations, showing her death and the birth of the new Avatar. Anyway, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll see you guys Friday with another video.
Oh, shit. Get out of here.
Thanks for the next...
Okay. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I mean, I love the Avatar series. I thought it was always good. The animation team behind it is baller. They tell usually pretty good stories. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious. I don't know. Like, I'm 35 and I don't really feel like trying to tune into something. Like, what would this be streamed on? Avatar. Does Nickelodeon have like a, I don't know, like an app, or what would this be? Would this be on like Netflix or something, or like, or I don't know. Um, I don't know. If I go and just think about what has happened with all of my favorite IPs, they have all been revived only to be exhumed into a lifeless husk. Seldom do any IPs get off and they're actually good. That's like a very rare thing. I mean, hopefully this one does good. I mean, I'll probably watch it after like all the episodes get like done. I'll probably end up watching it like years later or something like that because I'd rather just binge it instead of just waiting, going week to week and be like, oh my god, like, I mean, shit. They what it have they pretty much like, I don't know what to call it. Have they like Pokemonized the Avatar series in that, you know what they've done to Ash? Like Ash is always like, what is he, like 12, 13, 14 or something, and like it's been like that for like 15, 20 years now. I mean, maybe the Avatar, that's what they're gonna do for like the Avatar. You know, the Avatar is always gonna start as like a little kid, and just okay, then you go up to be like a teenager or maybe like a young adult, and then that's it. I mean, ugh, to be like something like that. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, it's good. Whatever. But overall, cool video. Yeah, we'll see how good it is. Thank you, man, for sure. But other than that, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.